Cummins diesel cheat is destroying American boats. Not in the way that sentence sounds, and that is exactly why nobody at your marina has said a word about it. Walk the docks of almost any American harbor and look into the engine rooms. Trawlers, sport fishers, workboats, 40 years of them. Bolted to the valve cover over and over, you find the same red badge, Cummins. For most owners in this country, that badge was never a brand. It was a reassurance. It meant this thing brings me home when the light goes. On the 10th of January, 2024, that badge became something else. Cummins agreed to pay $1.675 billion, the largest civil penalty in the history of the Clean Air Act, the second largest environmental penalty ever assessed in the United States. The reason was software that could tell when it was being watched. And buried inside that agreement, there is a number Cummins would rather you never look at. It is not the $1.675 billion. It is a percentage. And the clock on that percentage runs out in January. Hold on to it. We are coming back to it, and it explains exactly why there are prepaid gift cards being handed out in truck service bays right now. Here is what actually happened with nothing dressed up. The engines in question were the 6.7-liter turbo diesels in Ram 2500 and 3500 pickups. The Justice Department and the Environmental Protection Agency found that the control software contained what the law calls defeat devices. In plain English, the engine ran clean when it recognized the conditions of a certification test. And then out on the road, in normal driving, the emissions controls were quietly turned down. Nitrogen oxide output went far above the legal limit. The truck passed the exam and then stopped studying. This was not one bad model year. More than 630,000 trucks, model years 2013 through 2019, carried the illegal software. Another 330,000, model years 2019 through 2023, carried auxiliary emission control devices that were never disclosed to regulators. Add them together, and you are looking at close to 1 million engines. The settlement was not just a fine. Cummins has to recall and repair the affected trucks. It has to give repaired vehicles an extended warranty on emissions components. It paid $175 million into a California mitigation fund. And in a detail that tells you the scale of the pollution involved, it agreed to repower 27 diesel locomotives and install idle reduction systems on 50 more, just to balance the ledger. Total value of the whole operation, north of $2 billion. That is the company whose name is stamped on the engine that pushes your boat. And understand what nitrogen oxide is, because the word emissions has been worn smooth by overuse. This is not carbon dioxide and a debate about the climate. Nitrogen oxide is the compound that turns into smog and ground-level ozone. It is the one that lands hardest on people who already have something wrong with their lungs, and on the towns that sit downwind of a highway. That is why the fine was calculated the way it was. Not as a bookkeeping error, as a public health bill. And here's the part that should have made this impossible. It all happened after Volkswagen. The entire industry watched a foreign automaker get taken apart in public for exactly this behavior. Watched the buyback, lots full of cars nobody could legally sell. Everyone was warned. Cummins did not stumble into an unclear rule. It was operating inside the brightest spotlight ever pointed at a diesel engine, and the software shipped anyway. Now, the honest part, the part that has to come before anything else. Because if I skip it, nothing else I say is worth listening to. The marine engines were not in that settlement, not the Q ESP 6.7, not the bigger blocks under the Sportfish fleet, not the commercial ratings. The Justice Department case was about pickup trucks, and only pickup trucks. If you own a boat with a Cummins diesel in it, no federal agency has told you that your engine cheats a test. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you something. So why is this the most important engine story in American boating this year? Because there are two ways a company reaches your dock. One is the engine. The other one is parked 40 feet from your slip, hitched to a trailer every Saturday morning of the season. The Ram 2500 and 3500 with the Cummins 6.7 is the boat hauling truck in this country. It is what pulls the 26-foot center console to the ramp. It is what moves the cruiser to the yard in October and back in April. If you trailer a boat in America, either you own one or the man in the next slip does. That truck is not adjacent to boating. It is boating infrastructure. And those trucks are now under emissions recall 67A. Here is what the recall does. It is software only. No hardware, and Cummins says it takes under an hour. The update sends new signals to the DEF injection system and increases DEF dosing to bring tailpipe nitrogen oxide down to where it should have been all along. Cummins states there is no change to horsepower, torque, or throttle response. It also states that 2016 through 2018 trucks may lose about half a mile per gallon in city and light load driving, and you will burn more DEF permanently. Now watch what happened next, because this is the part that turned a legal story into a human one. Owners said no. Not a few of them. Enough of them that Cummins started paying. In 2026, the company began offering a $500 prepaid MasterCard to owners who bring the truck in, and it offered $1,000 to the first 750 people who moved fast. It stacked on a free extended warranty on emissions components, and it kept extending the window into the fall of 2026. Think about that. A company that just paid the largest Clean Air Act penalty in American history is now handing out gift cards to persuade people to accept a free repair. That only happens for one reason. It is not working. And the reason it is not working is the most human thing in this entire story. Ask around the truck forums and the ramp parking lots, and you get the same answer in different words. The company lied to the government about how this engine behaved. Now the company wants to come into my engine control unit and change how it behaves. Why exactly would I open the door? These are men who bought a diesel because a diesel was supposed to be the honest choice, the one that does not need managing. They are not refusing a software update. They are refusing to hand the keyboard back to the same people. And now we come back to the number I asked you to hold on to. The settlement did not just require Cummins to offer the fix. It required Cummins to get at least 85% of those trucks actually repaired within 3 years. The agreement was signed on the 10th of January, 2024. 3 years, which means the deadline is January 2027. Miss it, and the penalties go up from a number that was already the largest of its kind ever recorded. That is why there are gift cards. Every truck still unfixed in a driveway in Georgia or Michigan or Texas is a truck sitting between Cummins and that 85%. The company is not being generous. It is running out of calendar. Let me take the objections head on, because they are fair and because you were already forming them. First objection: my boat engine is not in the recall, so this has nothing to do with me. Half right, your engine is not in the recall, but if you tow, the machine that gets your boat to the water is. And your decision about that recall affects your fuel bill, your DEF bill, your warranty coverage, and your resale value. That is not adjacent. That is your season. Second objection: the Marine QSB is not a marinized truck engine anyway. Dealers will tell you it was purpose-built for Marine duty, assembled at Darlington in England and Rocky Mount in North Carolina, and they are right about the hardware. It powers the Beneteau Swift Trawler 34, Sabre 38 and 42, Back Cove 37, Mainship 34, American Tug 395, Ranger Tugs R31, Helmsman 38, Pursuit OS 385. Different engine, different duty cycle, genuinely strong service record. But hardware is not what failed here. What failed was the paperwork culture. The certification that says this engine meets the standard is signed by the same corporation, submitted to the same agency under the same internal pressure to hit a launch date. You are not being asked to distrust a block of iron. You are being asked to ask what the word certified is worth. Third objection: half a mile per gallon, who cares? On its own, nobody should. But half a mile per gallon is the city and light load figure. Nobody has published the number for a truck dragging 9,000 pounds of boat and trailer up a ramp in August, and higher DEF dosing under sustained load is not a rounding error. It is a consumable you-buy. That is the honest answer. The number that matters most is the one nobody measured. Fourth objection: Cummins is fine. Look at the company. This one is true, and it is the most uncomfortable fact in the story. On August 11th, 2026, Cummins reported record second quarter revenue of $9.5 billion, up 9%, with net income of $932 million. It raised its full-year outlook. It raised the dividend for the 17th consecutive year. It returned $501 million to shareholders in a single quarter. Record penalty, record quarter, same company, 2 years apart. Whatever the fine was meant to teach, the balance sheet did not attend the lesson. And the legal side is not closed either. Truck owners filed a class action, and a federal judge allowed a substantial part of it to proceed under California consumer protection law, on the argument that buyers would not have paid what they paid had they known the real emissions behavior. Shareholders filed too. The man with the 10-year-old truck and the pension fund holding the shares are, for once, making the same complaint. And California went further than anyone. The state attorney general and the California Air Resources Board took $175 million out of that agreement for local nitrogen oxide cleanup and called it the largest clean air settlement in the history of the state. If you keep a boat anywhere on that coast, some of that money is being spent on the air over your slip. That is how far the exhaust of a pickup truck travels before it becomes a marine story. So here's where it lands for you on your dock this season. If you own a 2013 to 2018 Ram 2500 or 3500, the recall is free. It is fast. It comes with a warranty extension worth more than the fuel it costs you. And there is cash on the table for a limited window. If you are shopping used, ask whether 67A has been performed before you sign, because an unfixed truck is an open obligation attached to a title, and in a state with emissions inspection, it can become the seller's problem that quietly became yours. Get the answer in writing from the dealer, not from the man in the driveway who says he thinks it was done. If your boat has a Cummins in it, nothing about your engine changed on the 10th of January, 2024. Service it, log it, keep the fuel clean. What changed is the weight you put on a badge. A badge is a claim. A logbook is evidence. In this business, the second one has always been worth more, and this story is simply the most expensive proof of it ever recorded. The verdict, in 3 parts. 1. The cheat was real, it was deliberate, it covered nearly 1 million engines, and it cost more than any Clean Air Act violation in American history. 2. It did not touch your marine engine, and anybody who says it did is not being straight with you. 3. It is still destroying something, not your block. The truck that moves your boat, the value of the word certified, and the assumption that when a company stamps a red badge on a machine, somebody responsible has already checked the math. That badge still means good iron. It just stopped meaning good faith. And the 85% clock runs out in January. If this one held your attention, the other half of the story is what happened on shore, when the company that sold Americans their boat parts for 80 years finally ran out of road. It is the perfect companion to this video, and it is on the screen right now. Just tap it, and I will see you inside.